Hello, my creative cuties. I am finally writing and illustrating my mile-long list of storybook ideas, and I need to decide which one to make first. I have maybe 50 story ideas, but I've got 2 books all written and ready to go. One is a sketchbook with overdramatic animals with 9 funny short stories, and the other is a collection of wholesome short stories about my original characters battling art block. I might just make both books at the same time. Actually, yes, let's do that. Whenever I get sick of one project, I can just hop onto the other one. Do you do that? Having a backup project for when you inevitably get bored of the first one? It only gets to be a problem when I have 10 backup projects and I keep working on each one just a tiny bit at a time, and it takes forever to get anything finished. Story of my life. Just one of many reasons why I used to start making books but never finish them. Anyway, I also wanted to write my next book while I illustrate these first 2 books, so by the time they're done, I have another one ready to illustrate. But which book to write? I have a whole bunch of ideas, but some are sentimental and I want to hold off on them until I feel a little more confident in my skills. So I'll be finishing one that I started writing just a few months ago, and I'm excited to see what I can do with this fresh idea. I was going to make a book of short fantasy romance stories, but I fell in love with all of them, and I want to turn them into their own standalone full-length novels, starting with the one about mermaids. I know that sounds random and weird, but trust me, I've got some really fun ideas for this story. So in this series of fantasy romance short stories that I wrote, I wanted each story to have a kiss. So naturally, I had to make one about mermaids because a mermaid's kiss can give a mortal the temporary ability to breathe underwater. The short story had a young woman cleaning up trash at a beach when some hungry mermaids attacked her. But a merman comes to the rescue, gets her away from the other mermaids, kisses her so she can breathe, shows her the beautiful ocean for a while, then takes her back to the surface and explains that he spared her because he sees her cleaning up the shores often, and although it's not going to make a noticeable difference, he appreciates her efforts. They have a discussion about the value of small deeds, and they really vibe even if they don't see eye to eye on this subject. Then he asks her not to come back for her own safety, so she asks for one more kiss before she goes. That was supposed to be the end of it, but I kept asking questions about these characters. Why does she clean up the trash when it doesn't make a difference? Why is she so passionate about small deeds? Why would it matter to a merman if a mortal is a good person? Why did the mermaids attack her right at that moment? Will the merman get in trouble for saving a mortal? And before I knew it, I had spent a week expanding on the story. There's still a lot more to figure out, but I can't wait to see where the story goes, and I'm itching to draw the mermaids in underwater world. So those are the 3 books that I'll be illustrating and writing for the next while, and I'll keep you updated on their progress as I go. As you may have guessed by now, you're watching me illustrate my dramatic animals sketchbook. I'm still figuring out exactly how I want to draw and color, so sorry about the inconsistencies. I'm sure there will be many more before I finally commit. Thank you so much for being here. Feedback on my art and stories is always appreciated, and I will see you next time.